Welcome to Echo of Crime YouTube channel. The message was simple: I'm outside. Those two words were the last anyone ever saw from Rachel Bennett's phone. Her best friend, Lily, stared at the glowing screen from her couch in disbelief. Rachel had been on her way to pick her up for a late-night movie. It was 9:47 p.m. when the text arrived. By 10:05, Rachel's car was found idling outside the apartment complex, driver's door open, engine still running, and her phone resting on the passenger seat. But Rachel herself was gone. No one had seen her leave. No cameras caught her walking away. It was like she vanished into thin air. Police swarmed the quiet street in Maple Falls, Washington, their blue and red lights flashing against wet pavement. The rain had stopped, but puddles still reflected the chaos. Officers marking the ground, neighbors whispering, Lily crying on the curb. The apartment cameras had caught Rachel's car pulling up, headlights flashing once, and then nothing. She never got out. Detective Mark Evans, who had handled dozens of disappearances, couldn't shake the feeling that something about this one was different. People don't just vanish from a car parked under a streetlight, he muttered, staring at the flickering CCTV footage. The timestamp froze at 9 hours 47 minutes and 58 seconds. One frame showed Rachel's headlights shining on the front door. The next was static. The story began earlier that evening. Rachel, 27, worked at a small real estate office in town. She was known for being punctual, kind, and careful, the type who double-checked her locks before leaving home. That Friday, she'd left work a bit late after showing a new property on the edge of town. She texted Lily around 8:15 p.m., running behind. Traffic's bad. Be there soon. By 9:30, she texted again, almost there. Nothing unusual. But what Lily didn't know was that Rachel had received a call minutes before, a call from an unknown number. Cell records would later confirm it lasted just 47 seconds. Rachel's apartment was only 5 miles away, yet her GPS showed a strange detour, a back road that cut through an old industrial area near the river. She never had a reason to take that route. No one did at night. The mob detectives dug. The stranger it got. Rachel's dashcam, which had been recording when she left home, ended abruptly at 9:38 p.m. The footage showed headlights behind her car, following close. Detective Evans replayed that final clip over and over, watching the faint outline of another vehicle in the distance. Who was following her? He whispered. And more importantly, why did Rachel text "I'm outside" when she clearly never made it to Lily's door? That question would lead them to something far darker than a simple disappearance. The morning after Rachel's disappearance, Maple Falls woke up to police cars lining the streets and news vans circling the neighborhood. Reporters crowded near the yellow tape, shouting questions no one could answer. Detective Mark Evans had barely slept. He stood near Rachel's car, now towed to the station, staring at the one clue that didn't make sense: the driver's seat. It was pushed far back, too far for Rachel's short height. Someone taller had been behind the wheel. Inside the car, forensics found faint mud prints on the passenger floor mat, not from rainwater but from clay, like the kind found near the riverbanks outside town. A smear of that same clay was found on the car's back bumper. It was a small detail, but to Evans, it was everything. He ordered a search of the old Mill Creek Industrial Park, the area Rachel's GPS had briefly pinged before the signal died. By afternoon, officers and K-9 units were combing through the foggy maze of warehouses and rusted shipping containers. The place looked frozen in time: broken windows, vines creeping over concrete, and the faint sound of river water echoing through the cold air. "Over here," one officer called out. They had found tire tracks matching Rachel's car, but they led nowhere. Just a dead end by the water. No footprints, no struggle, no sign of Rachel. Meanwhile, Lily sat with detectives giving her statement. "She texted me right before it happened," she said, trembling. She said, "I'm outside." But when I looked out the window, she wasn't there. The car lights were on, but I didn't see her. Detective Evans leaned forward. "Lily, did she ever mention anyone new? A client, maybe, or someone who made her uncomfortable?" Lily hesitated. There was one guy. She mentioned him a few days ago, a man she met at a property showing. She said he kept asking personal questions, like where she lived. I told her to block him. Evans felt a chill. They tracked down the showing log and found the name Daniel Cross, a potential buyer who'd left no forwarding number, only an email that bounced back. Back at the station, Evans stared at Rachel's phone, recovered from a car. He noticed something everyone had missed. The message "I'm outside" was never delivered. The little gray check mark beside it showed no confirmation. It meant one thing: Rachel had typed it, but never hit send. So who had sent the text to Lily? As night fell, the search team expanded north toward the woods. The temperature dropped, and fog rolled in thick. Then, at 8:03 p.m., a call came over the radio. A park ranger had found something by the riverbank near Mill Creek. Detective Evans rushed to the scene, flashlight in hand. There, stuck in the mud, was a silver bracelet engraved with Rachel's initials. Next to it, half buried in clay, lay a single car key, not from her vehicle. Evans stared into the dark woods, his breath visible in the cold air. Someone had been here, and they weren't done yet. 2 days later, the FBI joined the case. Drones scanned the forest, divers searched the river, and detectives reviewed hours of traffic footage. Yet somehow, Daniel Cross, the man who signed into Rachel's last showing, didn't exist in any database. The driver's license he'd used was fake, the phone number untraceable. Whoever he was, he had planned this carefully. Detective Evans sat in his office, exhausted. He replayed Rachel's final dashcam video again. This time, he slowed it frame by frame. That's when he saw it, a faint reflection in her rearview mirror. A man's face, partially lit by headlights. He wasn't in a car. He was standing in the road behind her. Evans froze the frame and enhanced the image. The man was wearing a dark jacket with a white logo, something small, circular, with letters around it. He sent the photo to forensics. Minutes later, an analyst replied, "That's a security badge from Mill Creek Industrial Park." The detective's heart raced. Someone connected to the old factory had been following Rachel. That night, police searched the main warehouse. Inside, they found signs of recent activity: food wrappers, empty coffee cans, and a single mattress. A faint smell of gasoline lingered in the air. Then came the biggest break. Hidden behind a rusted storage cabinet, officers found an old phone connected to a power cord. On it were dozens of unsent text drafts, all identical. Each message said the same thing: "I'm outside." Detective Evans felt a chill run down his spine. Whoever had taken Rachel had used that phone to send the text. Suddenly, his radio crackled. "Detective, we've got movement in the east building." Evans and 2 officers ran across the lot, flashlights cutting through the mist. A door slammed ahead of them. They burst inside, beams of light sweeping through dust and darkness, but no one was there. Only Rachel's jacket hung on a nail near the back wall. Her phone buzzed in Evans's hand. The screen lit up. A new message had appeared from an unknown number. It read, "She's still outside." Evans turned toward the open doorway, the wind howling through the night. Somewhere beyond the trees, in the cold and the fog, a faint sound echoed, a car engine starting. And just like that, the lights of the warehouse flickered out.